y'all. So this is Lance again, back with another market markup, and this is another special request. A shout out to my brother Fred over at Fred Talks. If you guys are not familiar with that podcast, definitely go check it out. It's great. It's on anywhere you can find a platform, any platform where you can find a podcast. I believe his podcast is there. I personally listen to it on Apple Podcasts. But so that's where I know you can get it for sure. But anyway, he requested that I take a look at Gladstone Land Corporation and kind of weigh in on this one. I've never done an analysis on the charts for this company. Um, if you're new here, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, hit like, hit share, all those great things. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Um, of course, if you want me to look at a ticker or two, leave it in the comment section. Throw it right in the queue. I tend to do them in the order that I receive them. So after this one, I have like two more in the queue. So if I don't get any more after that, I'll be kind of throwing in some of my own choices on the back end. But anyway, let's talk about, I'm just going to call it land since that's the ticker. But right now on the yearly chart, seeing pretty strong phase two um, price action here. So phase two of the market cycle. Nice breakout here in 2021 above this $16 area. That would have made for a very nice entry there. But like I said, it's not something that I follow. So um, I'm just gonna make note of this area. Actually, no, I have to take this off and do a price level. Do a price level because I can write on those. Okay. What's that? 2013, 2014. So, alright. We're going to make it white. Okay. Alright, so even before this level, nice entry probably would have been down in the $13 area. But since the price is well above $13, I'm probably not gonna. Well, I'll just mark it. Um, I was gonna say I'm probably not gonna mark that area since the price is well above this area, but just so I can have that visual reminder, I'll go ahead and mark it. Okay. All right, so there's my yearly chart. So obvious phase two of the market cycle, strong bullish price action so far for 2021, stronger than any of the previous years. So just check in as the months pass to see how it's shaping up. So looks like all-time highs hit sometime this year. I'm not sure when, but yeah, let me go ahead and grab a screenshot here. And let's move on to the monthly chart. Let's see what we can see here. All right, so monthly chart we have a 50 period moving average here. And as you can see, once it rose above that 50, it kind of hung out right along the top side of it, fell below it a couple of times, but had a nice strong move off that 50 period moving average finally. It did test that historical resistance and failed there for a few months, but Toward the end of last year, it really, really, really took off from those from that $13 area that I mentioned. So yeah, let's see. Starting to get some selling pressure up here. So maybe some weakness in that buying happening gradually here on this monthly chart, as indicated by these long wicks. Got a shooting star pattern candle happening here at the top. So maybe for the month of July we look for a little retracement or a small pullback or something like that, maybe. But the month of July would have to close below 2406. So for me, that is definitely an area that I would mark. And we're just going to do it a different color. We'll say orange. That. We'll say June close. We're going to show that. Okay, so June close right there at 2406. Um, like I said, for the month of July, maybe we watch for confirmation. And in that case, this price would, um, for the month of July, would close below this 2406 area. Even better if it, closes below or toward 23. But, you know, maybe just a hypothesis, a potential hypothesis moving forward short term. Um, mm, what else am I seeing here? Let's see. Yeah, yeah. This thing. I mean, it's been several months now of just straight or pretty much straight bullishness. So, it's gonna have to take a break at some point. Maybe it'll consolidate here for a little bit instead of pulling back. So maybe you'll get a either or kind of a combination of both. Um, let me get trend line here. In my opinion, as far as sentiment is concerned, uh, as long as the price stays, above this trend line on the top side of this trend line, sentiment, kind of will remain the same in my opinion. So we could get, again, we could get, a sell-off. It could, consolidate out of here. But keep an eye on this trend line here as far as the monthly chart is concerned. Let's get a screenshot there. I'm not gonna copy that. Just okay. All right, let's check out the weekly chart and see how that looks. Okay, so the weekly chart, I can make some adjustments on this trend line. Okay, so same thing as a monthly. This area up here not quite reaching that trend line yet. So maybe by early August we see, what happens. I'd say early August at the latest we see what happens here. But obviously on the weekly chart we've got some consolidation happening. So pretty range bound over the last few weeks or so. So looking at that June close and up toward about a point higher or so. So I'm just going to do a little trend line there, just representing that range bound activity. So just watching this area between the 2020 or June close and close to that all-time high of 2604. So, but first, that 2504-ish area, low 25s. So, yeah, not really seeing much else here. Yeah, not really seeing much else here on this chart. Don't see a pattern right now that I know of. So far this week, bearish, but that June close holding. So tomorrow, see how it goes, uh, and form some hypotheses about the coming weeks. But like I said, no later than early to mid August, we should see some resolution here, whether it breaks down, whether it consolidates or continues to consolidate, or whether it finally breaks out above this mid $25 area. Um, haven't quite had a retest of this historical level that was identified on the yearly chart. And that's not to say that that price is going to pull back that far, but it could. But if I were looking to enter, and of course this isn't any type of investment advice or anything like that, that that would be an ideal situation for me. Is to catch this thing on that pullback or retrace down here to this area. And let me go ahead and do some calculations and put them on here. So let's first do that 5% pullback, right? So 24.73 or 74 roughly would represent that 5% pullback. And I'm not going to mark that because it's just going to make my chart really, really messy and kind of difficult to read. So if you're following along, you can mark that area 24.74 as the 5% pullback. So the price is kind of uh, wedged between June close and that 5% pullback. Now let's do the correction level, which is 23.43, which is right in this area here, pretty much. And that's going to be correction territory. So that's another level to watch. So 24.74, 23.43, and then we'll do that bear market level, which is 20.83. So way down in here, actually up in here. So about right there, 2083 would be the bear market territory for this ticker. And you see that there was a little bit of static in here for a few weeks. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Actually, I'll go ahead and mark that bear market territory level. Said 2083. Yeah, I believe so. That we'll just call it launch. Double the width on that thing, and boom, there we go. Oh, once again, forgot to show my title. All right, there we go. So yeah, those are some levels that I um, be paying attention to short term on the weekly chart. A screenshot there. And let's move on to the daily chart. So hopefully it doesn't look too convoluted. All right, so you see that range bound. We can see it a little better on the daily chart. Price appears to be headed for that 50-day moving average. And that 50-day moving average is right there at that correction territory level. So I think it was 23.43, something like that. So that's right there at that 10% correction area. Um, I'm not really seeing a pattern here per se on the daily chart, but more like a channel. So it's pretty much channeling on this time frame. But you can see every time it tests this bottom trend line, it has a nice run up. So what I'd be watching for, especially on the weekly and the daily chart is, whether the price tests this area again and seeing what happens next. But obviously here on the daily chart, it has entered some consolidation. So from consolidation, we either look for a breakout or a breakdown. So, maybe sit on your hands a little bit before you see an ideal entry. Let's dial this down to the 1 month. Actually, we'll do 3 months chart here. Um, for me, probably um, as far as an entry is concerned. And again, this isn't any type of investment advice. Um, this isn't any type of investment advice at all. But I would probably like to see or prefer an entry here. So pretty much anywhere along this trend line would be a decent entry for me. Um, so who knows when or if that would happen. But for me, I would say that an entry in this area would probably be probably anywhere above 22, or 23. I mean, so maybe a nice little pullback to 23, and then at that point, probably trying to play a move up to um, this $25.50 area. So I'm just gonna set actually no, I'm gonna do a target here. And then we'll do another target here at the all-time high of 26 and some change. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much gonna be it for this one. Like I said, when it comes to consolidation, I like to sit on my hands, unless that range bound activity is wide enough to where I can catch a nice little move from the low to the high or from the high to the low. But my preferred way to play consolidation is I like to try to get in on the breakout or the breakdown. But in this case, I would probably be trying to trade shares. So um, my the account that I use to trade shares, I can only be bullish in that account. So definitely um, would be looking to try to play a breakout or play this bounce if it even gets there. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys would like for me to check out any other tickers, let me know. I'll throw it in the queue. If you have any questions, any thoughts, throw them at me. I'm happy to chat about charts. It's definitely one of my favorite subjects. And I'll catch you in the next video.